Hey, what's going on? My name's Ash. Welcome to my channel, Saved by an Angel. In this video, I'm going to ask you the question, are you hungry? I hope not, because if you are, you better press pause and go get something to eat, because you're probably going to die if you don't. This is what subconsciously goes through the minds of many people once that feeling of hunger kicks in. I find it hilarious when my son says to me, he says, "Daddy, I'm starving." And I think back to how he just had a meal 2 hours ago with a snack and chocolate milk in between. And I always remind him, I'm like, "Son, you have no idea what it feels like to be starving. You've never starved in your entire life." And I always remind him of how I did a 49-hour dry fast with absolutely no food or water. And what I learned from that was just how much we abuse food and how much we eat food for pleasure and entertainment. And not only that, about 30 hours in to absolutely having nothing, I remember thinking, if I could just have a fucking almond, it would taste like a birthday cake. I would have been so grateful just to have one almond. And not only that, I always had an issue with drinking water. And I remember after that long, I'm like, man, a glass of water, I'd rather have that than anything on this planet right now. I really got a new perception on food doing that 2-day fast. And so what I've thought about a lot of times is when I pay attention to energy and I pay attention to how my son is when he says he's starving, it's almost like there's a fear energy involved, right? And so it got me thinking, our DNA goes way back to the caveman times, right? And it's stored in our DNA to want to get food and have food as a supply, right? But what we've forgotten in 2022, if you live in North America, at least like I do, we have an abundance of food, right? And so unless you have money, in a money situation, you're probably not going to die from a lack of food. So I think what would be beneficial for people, especially if you're overweight, is to be conscious of the next time you tell yourself you're hungry, to just take a step back and be like, okay, yes, I'm hungry. There's an abundance of food and it's not bad to be hungry. What I've come to learn, a lot of things that are taught on this planet are backwards. The reason why they call it breakfast is it's called break fast. Okay, I eat 2 times a day with a couple snacks in between, but intermittent fasting, one thing I learned from watching my mom die of cancer was when the nurse came to me and told me that her body no longer had the energy to digest food because it needed it to fight the cancer. It made me realize how much energy our body takes to digest food. And when you're constantly eating any kind of snack or drink with minerals in it, your body goes into digestion mode. That's the number one objective for your body when you eat food, is to digest it. And when your body uses all that energy for digesting, it takes away from the energy it's using to heal and repair your cells. So when you eat breakfast, which they tell you is the most important meal of the day, it is the most important meal of the day to skip. I don't believe we should be eating breakfast. Reason being is because when you go to sleep, you have let's say, well, if you're me, 5 hours, 4 hours, 3.5 hours. Most people 7-8 hours of sleep where they don't eat. They're fasting. Now, when you wake up and you skip that meal, you go to 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, you've gone a substantial amount of time where you're not eating and your body is able to use that energy for healing yourself. And not only that, I find only having 2 meals a day, it's it just frees you up and you're not a slave to, I need to have 3 meals. There's no need for that at all. So I don't know if I'm getting too far off topic anymore. I'm just going to call it a wrap. Thanks for watching, everyone. You're not going to starve to death. Thanks for hitting that like and subscribe button. Stay tuned for the next video.